At nearly 9,000 kilometers, this is the world's longest international boundary. 5,500 undefended miles between Canada and the United States. Here, between Ontario and Minnesota, lies a connected wilderness area, Quetico in Canada and the Boundary Waters in the US. Twin parks, rooted in conservation, and partnering the two nations in the most wholesome way possible. But lately, things have been tense at the border. We desperately wanted to get away from the news, so I won't dwell on that topic. But we hoped that there was no real cause for concern about our route. A route that would literally bring us meters away from the international boundary. There was some tension in the air, a feeling that would become a bit too tangible for comfort on this trip.
I felt that one.
Hold on tight. It's coming. But we were here for peace, and peace is the main attraction. It's the souvenir you take home from these parks. Both the Boundary Waters and Quetico are known for tranquil paddling on pristine pine lakes. But we wondered about the rivers. If the lakes are the heart of the park, surely they must have some powerful arteries. The centerpiece of our route would be the Malign River. In French, the word means malignant. But how bad could it be? We set out for 2 weeks and 200 miles to discover the rivers for ourselves and to feel out the vibe around the border. We hoped to encounter the elusive Touristica Americanus, our dear friends. Well, we're starting out our trip here on Northern Light Lake, and one thing we're hoping for on this trip is some nice turtle interactions. We don't see them too often, and right off the bat there's a big snapper right on the rock there. We were just hammering out our paddling because there's a big storm coming, but a good little start.
Found a gorgeous point here, so we're just gonna stop and see if we can find a place to lay our tent.
Oh, this thing is a pig right now. Found a spot, and this is gonna be it for night number one. Starting to rain again, so just in time. Yep, rain was on the way. We just scrambled and got the tent up just in time.
I see you.
So here we are. Rain just let up. We're expecting some pretty big storms overnight and in the morning. Got the canoe well away from the water. And we're just easing into the trip. Just did a little 10-kilometer paddle today. And we have a long way to go, but plenty of time for that. So we're on public land tonight. Tomorrow we'll be crossing the border into Quetico Provincial Park. But we're also on an international border. Tomorrow we'll be paddling right on the other side of the United States border. And I'll give you a look at the map here. So Quetico is known more so as a flat water destination. On this trip, we're hoping to explore its rivers, namely the Malign River. That's the big piece. And from here over to the Namakan, the Quetico, and the Pickerel, back to there. Be about 270-ish kilometers in total, 42 carries, and the US border is right there. We'll be going alongside it and then also over here. It seems like the rain's starting to kick back up. Might be it for our day. Can't wait to get going tomorrow. The storm is lighting things up for night number one. No crazy wind or hail or anything, but the storm is just sitting over top of us with lightning every 10 seconds. We're dry and happy, just enjoying the show. Getting packed up here for day two. How was that night?
It was fun.
Yeah.
Big storm.
Long thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Lots of rain. But it's clearing up well enough for right now. So today we're heading west. We've got Northern Light Falls there, the first of hopefully many. And then we'll continue into the park, more detailed map here, into Saguenay Lake along the US-Canada border, And then in the coming days after that, we'll be in the falls chain, which should be pretty stunning. Let's go. At the end of the first lake of the trip, on to the first falls. There are a few fishing boats there. Good public land lake with good fishing and camping opportunities. Once we get into Quetico, no more motorboats. Pretty sweet campsite here. Ooh. Into the Malign River.
Got another rapid here, so we're on to the next carry.
You see a blueberry?
There's one right there.
Oh.
There's a bunch of green ones here.
Hopefully we'll find some.
Yeah, they're coming.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah. Yep. All good.
Well, that's our portaging for the day. We are heading into Saginaga Lake now, which is a giant. Some dark clouds hanging around. Hopefully the weather is reasonable for us. It is looking pretty dark out here. So we're through Red Sucker Bay, and that brings us right to the U.S. international boundary. That shoreline is U.S. territory. So it's an unusual constraint, having to respect this imaginary line out here where it's normally such a sense of freedom, but anyway, we'll work around it. In most years you can get what's called a remote access border crossing permit, and you can basically just declare to customs that you're going across the border in advance in a remote place, but those are off the table this year from what I've heard, given the state of things. That's a lot of ducklings.
It's a big family. Rounding the bend into the main lake and hoping to find camp soon, because once again the skies are getting a little threatening.
Just pulled up here on a beautiful spot on Saginaga. We're going to call it for the day. Just feels like something's about to hit, so we're going to get the tarp up and tent. We'll give you a look on the map. That's a good feeling. We're dry, we're about to cook dinner, and we've got a beautiful camp. Tarp's pitched if need be. So as we were coming out onto the main lake, we realized if we got into trouble out here, if the wind really kicked up, it's blowing from the north, then we would be in a scenario where it's either private islands or illegally crossing the border. So that wasn't a good position to be in. So we shot up this little channel, island hopped over to here, and we're very happy with our site. Huge pan of black bean burritos for dinner. We gotta eat stuff up like this because the barrel weighs probably close to 100 pounds. It's pretty ridiculous.
Gotta get some of our gourmet food out of it.
Yep. Just starting to rain lightly now. Perfect timing. Got everything done. And now we can just crawl into the tent if we want. It picks up. Great day.
On these trips, we always make sure to be really well prepared with our physical map and then cached maps in our phones. And for this trip, I brought even an extra backup map on my buff. I got a map of Quetico. And we are in here somewhere.
Blustery night and start to day 3. Chillier too, but we got some hot breakfast, egg wraps. Cheers.
Cheers. A little bit of egg on your face.
Oh my. I'm really glad we're not out in the middle of the lake.
Yeah,
Made the right call to come to the north side of the lake.
it's windy.
It was much windier than expected. Back on our way. It's still gray out here, but because we got to the north shore yesterday, now we can blow with the wind instead of fighting a crosswind like we would have the other direction. Beautiful islands out here too. Life's good. Swells are getting pretty sizable out here. We just tucked in here for a second while it's calm. Normally Erin and I tandem a 17-foot prospector with a 36-inch beam, the widest point. This one is 16 with a 34-inch beam. So you can really tell the difference when the waves start to come up, and the heavy load too, tons of food in the barrel. Just getting a little close for comfort there a couple times. Yeah, some big swells now. We're gonna have to get off the water, I think. These are not huge waves, but in the smaller canoe, heavily loaded, we've got less freeboard, the distance from the gunnel to the waterline, and we're right on the edge here. Got pretty hairy out there. Couldn't document it properly. Couldn't take our hands off the paddles, really. It's a lot calmer here behind the island. Let's see if we can proceed. Just about to turn into the safety of Cache Bay. Yahoo!
Done it!
So we're into Cache Bay now. Things got dicey around here. All this fetch on Saganaga was funneling into these islands and whatnot, and everything else after that was reasonable, but we're glad to be in the protection here of Cache Bay. Some of the waves on the main lake were licking the gunnels, so it's a relief to be in here. Now we are into Quetico Provincial Park, across the border in that time.
We're just coming up to the ranger station on Cache Bay. It's part of the Quetico Provincial Park, so we're gonna just go and take a peek and check it out.
Lots of cool information here, and for all the nonsense going on at the border right now, I just love this map showing the partnership of parks between Canada and US here. Friends, neighbors, allies. A wilderness area of unequaled scenic beauty, Quetico Superior has long been a focal point for recreationists and conservationists. At the turn of the 20th century, public concern about outdoor recreation and wilderness protection in the Rainy Lake watershed led to the designation in 1909 of the Superior National Forest, the Minnesota Game Reserve, and the Quetico Forest Reserve. 4 years later, Quetico became a provincial park. Since that time, the governments of the United States, Minnesota, and Ontario have worked cooperatively to ensure the preservation of Quetico Superior as one of the world's largest international wilderness areas. Well, we just hung out at the ranger station for at least an hour, having a great chat with Peter and Stacy, who are taking care of it. And they said that the traffic last June was something like 90 people, and this year it was 17 or something like that. Anyway, about a quarter because of the border crossing permit, the lack of permits. So it's too bad. Hopefully that's going to change someday soon. Come on, blue sky.
Ryan.
I see you there. Alright, coming up to the end of Saganaga. Around the corner is Silver Falls. Look at that plume.
That's a plume.
Hey. Busy beaver. Much you need to say about a spot like this. The sun came out at the right moment too. It's just made it perfect. Erin spotted a beaver skull on the trail. Look at those yellow teeth. Into Saganagons Lake. Those are prolific ducks around here, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So we just popped off Dead Man's Portage. Dramatically named portage. It's got a very slippery rock, but as long as you don't barrel down it, it's no big deal. We're still in the same lake, but it cuts off about a 10-kilometer paddle around a huge peninsula. And that's brought us to a superb site here in a cluster of islands, just about to set up. Here's our little slice of heaven for the night. Tent set up, flies rolled back, not expecting rain, but can be deployed quickly that way. Beautiful red pine, fire going, and look at that view. Just island studded here. How you feeling about Camp 3?
Pretty good. I think it's nice enough that it calls for my party hat.
Mm-hmm. Watching a woodpecker from the tent, right above us. So there are tons of birds here at the site.
And we just had our fly up and thought it was so wonderful. And then I got back into the tent and I had a mystery splatter on my pad and we just realized it's a poo.
Yeah. There's the other one.
Ew.
And there's one on the fly. So we'll go ahead and we'll put the fly down.
Yeah, I sleep with my mouth open.
Well, we've had some pretty drab weather on this trip so far. Still haven't seen one sunrise or sunset. But it was still a great day, and tomorrow the sun's supposed to shine, so we're looking forward to it. Lovely view to go with our coffees to start day 4. Should be a great day with the falls chain next on the route. So the falls chain is about 3 kilometers ahead of us. We can hear it from here. We've put a seemingly small dent in the trip so far, about 56 kilometers or so. We got a ton left. So there are a number of falls in there. Should be a wonderful day. Go on, Spider. Leaving Camp 3 on a perfect July morning, on our way to the falls. Beautiful section in here. Just got to the first falls, landed the canoe, and something scuttled off here. No idea what it was. We both heard it. Some pretty enjoyable portaging today. Great trails, big white pine, and views at each one.
Look at this bounty.
What a spot.
Just starting to get into berry season here.
Yep.
Here.
Thank you. This is some kind of spot. Big slab of rock. There's a campsite over there. The next falls. And perfect water access and put in takeout here.
Blueberries.
Blueberries. The previous falls in sight. Wow. Oh.
If you're ever doing this route, this is one to stay at.
Yeah, this is an awesome spot. Quetico is a quiet place by all accounts, but right now it is dead quiet with everything going on at the border. Most of the park's traffic is actually from the States, and yeah, we haven't run into anyone. It feels like we're the only ones here. So we just did the first 3. Now we got a bit of a paddle before the next set.
Got an amazing view here. Nice spot to have a little snack, having some cashews, some electrolyte drink to fuel us up before we take on some of these bigger ports.
Quite a flow coming through there. Nice clean chunk though.
Yeah, looks like it'd be a fun one. That was such a fun, clean waterfall that I may or may not have had the thought that it would have been fun to try and bop down in the food barrel. Wouldn't have worked, but it's a fun thought.
In between Cocoa and Canyon Falls now. Canyon Falls ahead. Trying to get through here for a view. Well, we finally encountered another canoe. Didn't see the people though, they must be on the portage, double carrying. And Erin has found a patch of blueberries, and as usual, can't help herself. Hasn't even looked at the canyon yet.
That's a canyon.
How can this cedar exist here? I got one fall left.
Oh, one fall left. Hey, how long are you out here for?
2 weeks, yeah, we come out to 28th.
Nice.
Oh nice, you got some time.
Yeah,
That's good.
we had a little more aggressive schedule, but we're doing all right. Between weather and our stamina. Or at least one of ours.
Yeah, you're doing well. Oh, you got big packs too, eh?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
2 weeks full of food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes room. Into Kenny Lake. Well, we went from dead quiet to a traffic jam. A couple of guys from Illinois, had a good chat with them, and passed by a girls group from Minnesota too. So good to see our neighbors up here enjoying in this country, and yeah, that was nice. Well, it's getting close to supper, so we're looking, and this is looking good. Beautiful. Well, our friends from Illinois are paddling on to Kanipi Lake. We'll be there tomorrow, but we are calling it. This is a beauty.
This might be my favorite one yet.
Yeah, always the recency bias in that, but this is awesome. Like, just beautiful vibes. Shady, wind blowing through the pine needles. Yeah. Those two guys, they did this when they were half their age in the 90s, they said, so good for them for still doing it. Just beautiful, beautiful like friendship for long-term friends to be doing something like that, you know? I just love that.
We'll be you and Xander one day.
God, no. So the spruce tipped over, but it's still alive. I'm gonna secure it with some rocks, and just love the idea of coming back like those guys in 30 years. And if we got to see it here, that would be pretty cool.
Nice. All right.
Okay, it's got a chance.
It's pretty flat. Uh-oh. Ooh, spooky. It's nice. It's not even cold. Ah! Cannonball!
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That was a good dip after 6 carries around the waterfalls.
Yeah.
What a day.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Even enough time for us to swim.
Yeah.
I don't usually leave enough time for that.
Got some veggie chili rehydrating. This site is pretty starved for firewood, but with the stick stove, a little goes a long way. A few small limbs like this, process them up, and we've got oodles now for the stick stove.
Cheesy.
So here's where we're at for night number 4. Didn't make much distance today, about 12 kilometers, but we got around 6 waterfalls, so good progress. And we got some big lakes coming up. Konipi tomorrow, Sturgeon after that, and many more after that. Another misty morning to start day 5. We got coffee and freeze-dried meals this morning. I want to get in some distance on Konipi Lake this morning. It's supposed to get rainy later, so good day for a morning paddle. We're on our way. We've got one more falls in the chain and then about a 25-kilometer paddle across Konipi. Into Konipi. Nice long paddle here. Beautifully calm out here for such a big lake. We're about halfway down Konipi now, stopping at a nice campsite, cooking up some falafel with red cabbage, crispy onion, jalapeno bits. Starting to look like rain's on the way. Some recent fire damage here from this May, 2 or so months ago.
coming up to the end of Kaunipi Lake and got a little portage and then into the next.
Well, we finally hit a runnable rapid on the Malign River. Pretty clean tongue there. But it was such a beautiful little portage when we went to scout it with rose hips and fireweed that we just decided to go for a little walk. Our butts are pretty stiff from that long paddle too, so yeah, this is a fun one to walk. What you got there?
Gifts. Gifts from the fire.
That's a good mittful. Oh, raspberries.
The best parts about burns this age is they're great for berries.
Yeah. Oh, I almost want to save that for Bannock.
I know. They don't save well though, they get squished.
No, that's true.
Here, take these and then I'll give you half.
Thank you.
Honey. Control yourself.
Ooh. Thank you so much. Oh no.
It floats.
It floats.
That's one of the finer delicacies of the wild.
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. Those are good. We're gonna scoot down this one, save ourselves a carry. After this one draw, or cross draw, yeah. Good. And we're going to get over to the right. Okay, paddle, paddle, paddle. Into Shelley Lake. Hello. It's Bert for the next few kilometers, FYI.
Thank you.
No problem. Beautiful though. Well, no campsite tickled us, so on to the next port and waterfall. Beautiful pine stand on this trail. But we held out for a better site and it looks like we got one. Nice slab of rock here, not surprisingly, it doesn't seem heavily used. Twin falls view, actually there's a third falls over there. We'll check those ones out tomorrow. Yeah, we're happy. Yeah, we're really happy with this campsite. Just doing peanut butter honey wraps for dinner. Erin took a pretty good tumble on the last carry. Let's have a look.
Let's see what we're dealing with.
Scuffed her knees. Oh, oh, yeah,
Scrapey
got you
there.
good.
Oh, I'm a little swollen. It's okay.
Yeah, there's.
Had worse.
So there's our landing spot for day 5. Covered Codnepi, which is a big one. Tomorrow, a couple more lakes, and then that'll bring us into Sturgeon Lake, another big one. Got stick fuel ready for tomorrow for breakfast, and we are going to sleep pretty great. Well, Erin's already passed out in the tent. I'm staying up for sunset, which is going down. Just hitting the trees over there. What a scene. Well, maybe this is my favorite campsite of the trip. What a way to start day 6. Unbelievable. What a scene, eh?
Stunning.
Yeah, this is the campsite to beat for me for the rest of the trip. I'd just give it a 9 out of 10.
Same.
Got lots of firewood and very few bugs. Last night's camp, or previous night's camp, actually had the opposite. So, yeah, can't beat this view. And this would be
Hard to beat a double waterfall.
triple.
Triple.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this would be a great place to fish too. But decided to leave the tackle at home on this trip and just travel free. We'll get lots of time to fish. Lots of fishing trips coming up. I know that sounds unthinkable to some people, but I don't mind.
Would have been to you 5 years ago.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. To the third falls. On we go. Perfect day.
Cute little painted turtle over on sunbathing on the rock here. Enjoying the morning just like us.
Erin loves her turtles.
I love turtles.
First one since the one right off the bat that we saw.
This goes back leg out.
What's that?
Still as a step.
Oh yeah. Frozen. Impressive start to our paddle, and the Falls Parade is about to continue. Split Rock Falls is ahead. That's about a 400-meter carry around a little chute. Just nowhere to put in around it. Beautiful.
Be another fun one to go down in the barrel.
Coming through Chatterton Lake now. So we're through Chatterton Lake onto the carry around Chatterton Falls, and one of the main reasons for leaving the fishing gear behind on this trip was to travel light. Like ultralighters would still scoff at our packs, but we can single carry, which means one trip across the portage instead of our usual one trip back for the second load. So we're starting to enjoy that now that the food barrel's getting lighter. Okay.
Let's get after it.
Into Russell Lake now. Should be it for our carries for the day. Smooth sailing. Next into Sturgeon. Okay, now we float down a little water slide into Sturgeon Lake.
It's a really sweet swan family up here. They've got 3 little ones with them.
One seems to be a bit of a runt, trailing behind. Yeah, it's incredible with the volume they get.
There's a loon
Whoa!
with a young one here.
I've never heard one make that sound.
Oh.
I've never heard that one. Just saw a cow and calf moose here on this point. First moose that I've seen in almost 50 days in Quetico, within the park. That's nice. Of course, ran off as soon as I got my lens on it.
Most of our wildlife sightings today in particular have been accompanied by quite young critters. Starting this morning, we saw a chipmunk about the size of a mouse, and then those swans with their goslings, I think that's what they're called, the young loon, and then just the calf and cow. It's the season for that, but particularly today.
It's a family park.
Just in the last 45 minutes to an hour, the wildfire smokes come in really thick. It feels like my glasses are smudged, but it's smoke. It's obscuring even the shoreline in front of us.
Any west wind, especially a northwest wind like today, is going to bring it in. In addition to all the smoke, we're also going through a burn right now. Fairly recent one. Pulling up to a very alluring sand point. And check it out. Look at this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't really love camping in sand. It's kind of messy and gets in your food, but yeah. That's pretty amazing. Oh. What a palace.
What a palace. Oh my god, it's getting close.
There's me a little panfish friend.
It's a pretty curious little nugget. Oh no, I scared him.
Oh no.
He'll come back.
I'm so repulsive.
No, you just spooked him. No.
So here's where we're sitting for day 6. Much of the way down Sturgeon. A little left tomorrow and then down the Malign. And that'll be the last piece of the Malign River actually. You can see the fire here, shaded in light red. We just paddled through that little finger of it today, but these are some big recent fires. Not a bad start to day 7. Fire's crackling. Still very smoky this morning, but makes the sunset so otherworldly. Erin's getting a little extra shut-eye. I've got a coffee to drink. Yeah, even though this campsite isn't really my style, just a bit overused and no rock to get water and whatnot, I still gotta give it a 9 out of 10. It's just exceptional. Beautiful. Feels like we're in a dream this morning. We've been lucking out on the big lakes for the most part. Glass calm. Bird life is superb this morning. Right now we're watching this pileated woodpecker, and there are a bunch of blue jays around, along with a northern flicker, which is another type of woodpecker. Past 10 now, and sturgeon is still a mirror. I was just thinking this is probably the longest I've ever spent on one river system. By the time we get to the end of the line today, it'll be about 160 kilometers, 100 miles. And to think that all the lakes we've been through so far drain through here. The rapids just came into earshot, and we're hoping that we're going to be able to run some of them today. But that's a massive volume of water running down them, so they might be pretty juicy. I'm also pretty sure malign in French means malignant, so we'll see. This river's been a paradise so far. Well, it looks like it might be a runnable rapid. I'm going to get a better look at it. The funny thing about rapids, even the very sound of them, the thought of running them, immediately evokes any need to use the bathroom. So we're just on shore doing that and having a look from shore. There's the end of the run. Looks a bit bouldery, but should get through there okay. So there's some pretty decent standing waves in the main flow, but there's a little sneak route on the right, or on the left here. Okay, right, yeah, hard, good. Let's just exit to the left because the right looked pretty bouldery. Okay, hard. Okay, skip the first portage. Good start.
Great start.
I just ride these a little, even back paddle. Yeah. Woohoo! Sweet.
Hey.
Next one looks a fair bit beefier. Yeah, this one has quite a drop. We'll carry this one. So we took half our gear across, but we're going to run the canoe on the second part of it. Yeah, it's a pretty big drop here.
Okay.
To the left of the standing wave.
Yeah.
Okay, back paddle a little. Nice and slow over these guys. Okay, straight.
Easy.
Lovely.
Nice and controlled.
Yeah. And now to pick up the rest. Having a good look at this next one. Big standing waves on that side. Here there's a little ledge, you can barely make it out. But if we sneak down the right side of the standing waves, should be okay. So the standing waves on this one are too juicy for this canoe, but we're gonna cut off to the right. Get to the left a little, cross draw. Cross draw. Want to get around this big first wave? Yeah. Okay. And now paddle. Whoa, they're big, yeah. Okay, slow. Slow. We might dump, it's okay. Whoa! Brace, 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 brace! Brace! Keep your paddle in the water, yeah. We're almost there. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Oh, baby, those are big. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, we got the bathtub effect. Paddle in the water. Okay, let's exit to the right here.
Great.
Okay, no sudden movements.
Yeah.
Canoe's pretty full of water. We're a bathtub. Don't grab the gunnel, please. Okay, we'll eddy out here. Oh.
Oh, that was a ride.
Those were big in the end. Holy cow.
Yeah.
We knew they'd be bigger than they looked from up top, but that was a ride.
Handled them better than I thought, though.
Yeah, we really bobbed up and down on them.
Nice.
Yeah, good job. Well, if we'd taken on much more water, we would have dumped, but that was super fun. Okay, to the right. Yeah.
This one?
A few otters popping up now as we come into Tanner Lake. Next stop, Tanner Rapids. So Tanner Rapids appears to be runnable on the far side, river right, but it's a little tricky to scout. And this small portage, like 10-meter portage, is littered with raspberries. So I'm gonna haul the gear. Erin's gonna collect some raspberries for us. Yeah, unless the berries are in clumps, I find individual berry picking pretty tedious, but Erin just loves it. She just said, "This is my Super Bowl." She's in deep now. Tanner Lake's in another one of those fingers of that burn. You get things like fireweed coming back, beautiful, and tons of berries.
Would you like to see the harvest?
Yeah, how do you do? Very nice. It'll be delicious in Bannock. We're gonna save it for Bannock, most of them? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I could stay all day, but we got places to be.
Yep.
Some discipline, I guess. Couple more.
Looking at this for potential Camp 7. Check out this little jewel. White pine. Doesn't seem too used. I don't get the feeling there's as much traffic down this section of the park. Great tent pad, pine needles, refreshing some clothes. And a nice view down for sunrise. And sunset should be over here with Twin Falls ahead. You can just hear it in the distance.
Burrito unwrapped tonight.
Yep. Another burrito bowl with red cabbage. We're hungry. The green onion is long gone, but we've got some green onion salt. It's really nice on this. So we paddled 27 kilometers today, just like yesterday. Very close to the end of the Maline River. Twin Falls ahead, and then we're gonna get into Lac la Croix, which is a big one. We'll be up very early, try and beat the wind. Another lovely start to day 8. We got to get across Lac la Croix today, so we're getting on our way in just a moment, and we're going to try and make this crossing before a south wind kicks up, which it might today, according to the forecast. I need to be able to get the water in the bottles. The reservoir.
Yeah. Should we do that at the falls or do it here? Do it here?
What's that?
Let's do it here. We're on to Twin Falls.
Oh, it should be a good one. One falls, two falls, Twin Falls. Well, that concludes our trip down the Malign River. What ideal canoe tripping. Really a perfect paddle. And we're now on to Lac la Croix and the Namakan River system. The lake is outside the park boundary, so it's time for another look from the air. So we've got about 20 kilometers to cover across the lake before heading down the Namakan. Winds are out of the south-southeast today, but there are a fair number of islands, so hopefully it won't get too wavy. And we'll be straddling the US border again today. Taking a quick break on shore here. Conditions are good. Border is right in between here and that island, which is the States. And so we need to cut around the border, do a bit of a detour through the Narrows. But yeah, it looks like we'll be able to get across fine today.
Yeah, pretty good conditions for Big Lake.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Starting to chop up a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to make this out, but we're right on the border. Just crossed over to Lone Tree Island, about 5 kilometers left. Interesting how the waves are picking up again as we travel along the border, just like on Saganaga. Seems a bit symbolic for the times. Those ones are getting big.
We're pretty much across the lake now, so we're able to tuck into Namakan, beginning of Namakan River, and it'll be nice to be a little sheltered.
Yeah. Glad we got started early this morning. Yeah, the wind's only about 15 kilometers an hour right now, so you can imagine a real wind would kick this thing up. Passing the community of Lac la Croix. We're gonna go between these two. Yep. Well, unmarked rapid there before Snake Falls, another waterfall. Hello. How you doing? Good. Where are y'all from?
From the U.S.
Nice.
Should I ask?
So, sorry?
Oh, we got
You guys from Canada?
Oh, right. Yeah. Duh. This, I think, is the most powerful falls we've seen yet. Look at that standing wave.
Gotta toss in a stick.
Highlight of that stick's life. Ran into a canoe from Minnesota there a couple days ago. Some people from Winnipeg, Manitoba. Terrific start to the Namakan. Just around the corner, big bald eagle flew off and 3 otters. Really quite a start. Got some merlins. They're very small falcons, and apparently they catch most of their prey in flight, small birds. Wow. Good wildlife vibes here.
I'm back on Turtle Watch.
So the river forks here. Myrtle Falls this way, Ivy Falls this way. We're taking the Ivy Channel. You go ahead. Erin's gonna have a look here. This could be a good option. Well, we really didn't know what to expect from the Namakan. Never heard about it. Just it was a connection for our route, but it's been a gem so far. So lush, and we found this amazing campsite here. We got a flow there. That's Quetico on the other side. We're on public land tonight, and I'll give you a little tour here. Definitely going to be a contender for the best campsite of the trip. Decent mooring down there. Not the best, but the rest of the site's just so awesome. We had to clean it up a bit. Obviously hasn't been used in quite a while. Some old firewood rotting down there. Cut out some deadfall here. There's lots of thick moss around. Fire pit hasn't been used in a bit. And there's a perfect spot for the tent over here. Several good tent pads actually, with a view up the river. Well, we spent the rest of day 8 just enjoying this spot, reading, and tomorrow we've got yet another falls to start our day. Ivy Falls is just around the corner. Peaceful start to day 9 with water rushing by on both sides, great sleep, and coffee. Yesterday we didn't have it because we just had granola, no fire, and got going. And we don't bring fuel unless we're expecting a fire ban or there is a fire ban. Just prefer the stick stove with fuel all around us that we don't have to carry. And yeah, it's tasting extra good today. So there's where we're at for Camp 8. We're going to continue down the Namakan, and that'll be the end of our westward travel, and also the end of our downriver travel. We're going up the Quetico River and up the Pickerel River, but I don't think it'll be too bad. all packed up, gonna get on our way. Excellent site, but the Triple Falls campsite is still our favorite for the excellent water access there. And this site got a bit buggy. Yeah,
But
still a gem.
all the sites on this trip have been pretty high quality.
Yeah,
They top the list on most other trips.
yeah, almost all of them.
But yeah, this one was great.
Yeah.
Thank you. Just had a unique sighting for this area. Just a little groundhog. Yeah, don't usually see them out here.
Pretty cute.
Cutie, he was a little curious too. He's peeking at us.
Oh, it's still there in the grass. Still peeking.
Still peeking. We'll leave him alone. Hi, bud.
Well, we're starting to get some sprinkles. Looks pretty dark over there, and there's a little thunder on the distance. So we'll see. The SATCOM forecast looks a bit iffy for the next day or two.
Gonna open up any minute. We tuck it in a little just for...
Yep. Yeah, it's super dark suddenly.
Yeah.
Take lots of speed into there. Speed, yeah.
Wahoo!
Little unmarked rapid. The map is pretty vague on this section. Not many details. That's fun. So we're leaving the Namakan and heading up the Quetico. It forks here. And we're gonna take the East Fork, which has 1 carry instead of 4. It's a no-brainer. What a beautiful little pool here. It's a muddy one.
We just completed our first portage on the Quetico River. It was a bit of a soggy one, but now we're getting back into the park.
Soggy is the perfect word for it. Wow. We just snuck down the west chute. Look at that beautiful clear water, eh?
I know, I'm thinking that too. Don't can it.
No. On to the next carry. We got Saskatoon berries.
It's our third variety of berry on this trip. Edible berry, that is.
So we're now at this 570 and a 740 after that. Yep. Oh, you okay? Okay, hard. Little blue sky peeking through as we approach our final carry of the day. Oh, we got a gift here at the end. We're skipping it with a little wade. Beautiful, crystal clear water. Looks like it's coming off a glacier. Well, Erin put it perfectly. That was a soggy day, but a perfect one to just be wet. We're wading, you know, in the mud, in the rain, and yeah, it was just a good day to be fully wet. And we're now into Beaver House Lake, looking for camp. Looks like we got a couple options for campsites here, the Rocky Point or the tip of that island. That looks pretty good right now.
Sun shining through today, first time. Gotta get my shoes on.
Same here.
Okay.
What a turn. Let's have a look.
Just in time for a swim, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Pretty cool. Elevated site.
Beautiful.
Got campsite up lickety split. Got dark again quickly, so don't know how much time we'll have, but water is just starting to boil. Erin's down there picking some blueberries for bannock in the morning. Tarp is half pitched. Big hanging line. Good camp. Resting up here, looking at the map. Today we came up from Ivy Falls, up the Quetico River, and we're camped at this end of Beaver House Lake. And tomorrow be continuing into Quetico Lake, park's namesake. Well, it actually turned out to be a nice evening. No more rain, but it is so muggy. We're just hoping for a thunderstorm to break the heat. I won't sleep in heat like this. She'll be okay. Let me just put them on the side.
Yeah, sure. That's great. Okay, fold in some blueberries. Oh yeah.
Well, we got blueberry bannock to start off day 10. There was some lightning in the distance last night, but no thunder. It was weird. And fog rolling in today and some thunder. So I don't know what we're gonna get.
It's pretty good. Mm-hmm.
A little bit of honey on there too. When you hit a blueberry, it's just heaven. Didn't have a ton here, but just enough. Finishing bannock under the tarp, starting to rain, and there's thunder.
Timing's just right though. We were able to get the bannock cooked.
Yep.
And finish it up under here.
Yep. Well, we had a good 2 or 3 hours of thunderstorms and rain. It stopped for now. Or it's starting again.
Is it?
Anyway, we're going to see if we can pack up dry and get on our way. Okay, we're back on our way, crossing Beaver House, and then we'll be doing a short carry into Quetico. Just enough water to get through this little narrows. Smooth sailing here on Beaver House, and coming up to the end of it, and our next carry, short one around some rapids on the Quetico River. And it's already 5 o'clock with our late start, so we gotta hustle into Quetico Lake. It's been drizzling for a little bit now, so we might just get off the water, start looking for a good site. Maybe. Not much sun. Hello.
How's it going?
Good, and you?
Good.
What time is it? Just about 8 o'clock. Turned into a longer evening, but good paddling conditions. Oh. And we're tired. Are you lifting?
I'm trying.
Let's go.
Back here. Okay.
So it's a cozy little spot, less used, a little off the beaten path, lots of fuel, and a couple of fire pits. One more over here, and should have a great sunrise view this way. And given the time of day, I am hungry. Do you like it?
I do. It's feels like a little kind of tucked away spot of our own on a bigger lake.
Mm-hmm.
Got our own little bay.
Yeah.
Love it.
Quick boil up on the stick stove. Freeze dried tonight for sure. A good day. I think we're going to be out of the woods for the wet weather. A couple of damp days, but not too bad. Tomorrow should be bright sun. We'll get everything dried out and paddle on our merry way. I've been saving this meal for when I had a real appetite. Biscuits and sausage gravy. 1,100 calories. It's the most I've seen in a freeze-dried meal. It is heavy. Erin had a granola bar. We have very different metabolisms. Don't we, hon?
Sure do.
But she needs energy from sleep. I
That's
can
true.
sleep half as much, she can eat half as much.
Yeah. It's pretty accurate.
That'll do, son. That'll do. Some more dried egg wraps to start day 11. Couldn't have asked for a better start. Gorgeous out here. Cheers.
Thanks, son.
Welcome. So yesterday we came across Beaver House into Quetico Lake and ended up paddling a good chunk of the way down it, most of the way, to this little point on this secluded bay. And we are actually ahead of schedule, so we are going to take a detour to extend this, do like a U-shaped detour down here through Jean Lake and the top of Sturgeon Lake this time, instead of cutting directly across. Just about to get on our way, and another terrific site. Not a top site contender, but very good. Beautiful out here this morning, but already sticky hot, and it's going to be really hot for the remainder of the trip. Coming through a nice island chain, turning south toward Jean Lake.
Detour.
Nice falls here coming out of Conch Lake. Just ran into a group with some members from the Wilderness Canoe Association and a guy named Dave all the way down from Georgia. Well, we're into Jean Lake, ran into another canoe from Montreal and Vancouver, and we've seen a lot in the last 24 hours or so. I think we've seen at least 20 canoes on the trip, maybe 30.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few.
Yeah,
Lost count.
which is very typical. Most of my trips I see 0. Yeah, it's been nice, and interestingly, almost none of them have been from Ontario. Almost all from elsewhere, so It's a great tourist destination. Yeah, nice to have little chats to see where people are from. Quick lunch break with peanut butter and honey wraps, and back on our way, heading for the south side of Jean. One more carry, and then we'll be looking for camp and somewhere to have a good swim. On to the next carry in the Burnside. That was the muddiest trail of the whole trip, but not too bad, and we're really looking forward to that swim now.
Yeah,
We're
lots of
just
frogs.
Sticky. Yeah, it was so muddy, there were
Frogs or
frogs all
toads.
over.
It was fun.
Feeling pretty good about the detour right now. This lake looks amazing. These are all islands out there. Very nice erratic here, or as Erin calls it, glacier poop. Just picked out Camp 11. Very unused spot. Seems a little cozy, and there's just one mediocre tent pad, but yeah, it's somewhere that's a little raw or feels nice. Campfire looks like it hasn't been used in a long time. Oh. Oh.
It's nice, eh?
Yeah.
It's refreshing, but not cold.
Yeah, perfect. A little TLC, and we've got a great site again. Fire pit is restored. Water access is excellent here. Got all of our damp gear drying out. Rinsed some clothes off. Good tent pad. Just a little sloping, but it's mossy. Erin's doing up the pads. Very nice. So Camp 11's toward the southeast corner of Burnside. Tomorrow, first thing, we're going to carry down Jean Creek. Should be nice in the morning. And then if the forecast can be believed, hopefully get a bit of a tailwind up Sturgeon Lake. End up around here is our goal. Just had some more falafel for dinner, and we're wrapping up our day. We're going to be up very early for probably the biggest day of the trip tomorrow. To do this detour, we got to cover some miles. So.
Hustle.
Yeah, it is really hazed over today with this west wind, but it looks pretty magical out there. Up early for day 12, just made a fire for coffee and some freeze-dried pad thai cooked in the pot.
Tent's all packed up.
Yeah, ready to go in just a minute for a nice morning paddle.
Got a big day today.
Yeah. Well, we're feeling really good about the detour here again. Beautiful creek. We're about to get into a small lake, Rouge Lake, and then another little creek paddle before sturgeon. Alright, so we got these 3 short carries along Jean Creek, and then we've got the longest uninterrupted paddle of the trip, close to 30 kilometers I think. Should be nice. Skipping the second carry, just a little lift over.
We're good.
Lovely thistles here, and tons of bumblebees, and a hummingbird even just flew by. There's the creek, and there's the next carry. Well, our meager portages for the day couldn't have gone much better. We're in the clear. On to sturgeon. Back to sturgeon. North shore of it. Got you. Deer flies. Got you. Nice wide beaver dam. And beaver lodge down there. And back for the encore on sturgeon. And yet again, this big lake is glass for us. This is dreamy.
We're just coming into a section of the lake that was burned a couple years ago, and we've timed it nicely that it's also about lunchtime. So I'm hoping we're going to come into some raspberry or blueberry bushes, and I can pick us some to go along with our lunch today. For the first time today, we're starting to get just a little bit of cloud coverage, which is nice because it's been pretty still and blue skies, which means it's getting hot out here. So we appreciate any shade we can get.
Well, Erin's found herself a good raspberry patch, so we're just going to hunker down here for a bit. Nice tailwind is building, so I don't mind giving it a little time to get a little stronger. Ooh, I see a nice patch over here too.
Ooh, I'll come get him. Whoa, that was a good section.
Lots of fireweed here, common after a burn. Some big rose hips. And some more thistles, one of Erin's favorites.
So it wasn't quite the honey hole that I was hoping for, but it did yield some results. Enough to spice up our granola for lunch today. So I'm happy.
Not supposed to rain today, but these clouds are getting pretty tall. So we just pulled up on shore, and sure enough, there were blueberries here. It's gonna be a good granola. Granola, cinnamon, you can dump those if you want. Oh yeah. Powdered milk, and seeds and nuts. Just need a little Greek yogurt and we'd be in heaven.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's delicious. Tastes like a berry crumble. It's close to a dessert. Well, we're sailing into the top bay of Sturgeon Lake now, and we had to repeat the Sturgeon Narrows, 5 kilometers or so, but it was a joy because we had this marvelous tailwind.
Where are we heading? Yeah, it looks nice.
Well, we might have found home for tonight. We can check this one out. Oh, we've got another nice one for our second last night. We expect we'll get back to Pickerel Lake tomorrow, and that'll be our final night. Pretty classy here. Excellent water access down there, which we're gonna use right now for a swim. It's hot.
I don't touch the bottom. Okay, I got you.
Got Penny going here tonight, and this campsite is pretty impressive. There's like a little ridge of rock there and some big erratics. It's a cool spot. Actually, we were lying in the tent and you heard someone paddle by. What'd they say?
I think they said, oh darn,
Yeah,
because I think they were checking it out.
they were hoping for it, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. It kind of feels a little elven in here.
Yeah. Actually, yesterday we had a similar experience. We arrived at a nice campsite and we were gonna take it. And right around the corner, this other solo guy comes around, and I'm like, "Are you camped here?" And he says, "I might be." And I said, "Looks like a nice site." And then that was it. So it was weird. There was some etiquette missing there, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah, it was a bit weird. So we didn't take that one.
If you said, "Yeah, I'm taking it,"
Yeah.
okay, great.
No.
But like, I might be taking it, so you shouldn't. You
Yeah.
know, it's just like,
You said, are you camped there? He said, not yet, but I might be. And then no
was weird.
follow-up. It was weird.
it was weird.
Yeah. And then he just, like, we went across the lake and he didn't go in, so.
It's
Oh, well.
actually the only soloist we've seen, I think.
That's the only one I can think of.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple groups with 3 in a boat today.
Yep. Lots of youth groups. So today we came down from Burnside and up Sturgeon to Camp 12 there at the top of it. And across this out, that was actually, I put that in wrong. We're going to come around here. There's a couple extra carries involved versus the single here, but it's following the Pickerel River, and that's kind of the point. That'll be the 4th river of our trip. There's a small moose antler here. Also a skull, which someone decided to put in the fire. I gotta admit, it looks kind of cool. That's it for day 12 here. Another great one. Lots of paddling. Tomorrow we've got 8 carries to hammer out into Pickerel Lake and potential big thunderstorms. So hopefully we can make some good progress tomorrow and it won't be too rough.
Morning of day 13 here, and we're getting a bit of an early start. We've got a pretty big day. We have 8 portages. One of them is 1 kilometer long, and we're hoping to make around 30 kilometers. So yeah, we're gonna have a quick breakfast, Cliff Bars and freeze-dried meals, some coffee, and get moving.
Coffee.
Cheers.
Oh. Cheers. Very nice in here. There's the Pickerel River ahead. River number 4. On to carry 1 of 8 for the day.
We're getting on our way to portage number 2 of the day.
On to number 3 as the skies get pretty dark. Into Oliphant Lake, which is a little chopped up the headwind, but we'll be turning with the wind shortly. I'm glad we got an early start because those waves were just begging to start breaking. Should be home free with the wind now.
And we're on to number 4. After this, we'll be half done our portages for the day.
Okay, longest carry of the trip. Let's do it. She's a climber. Well, Pickerel's a huge lake, and its power is on display here. Woo! Woo! Good job, hon.
You too.
Anything burning?
Most things. Yeah, it was a bit, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
A little sore, but it's manageable.
1 kilometer is not overly long, but it's enough. And it's actually pretty good that was our longest one of the trip. Did well with the carries on this route, over 300 kilometers. But the ratio was pretty good.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, definitely manageable, but it feels like a slog by then.
Yep, it looks gorgeous down there. So we're into Fern Lake now, and just realized that there was a miscount. There were 9 carries today, but 2 are real shorties, so that's all right. Check out this massive erratic. Glacier dropped that here, and it's just hanging on the edge of this ledge. Okay, so one of the extra trails, we just have to get around this, so that's nothing. So we're into the B's chain now. Bud, Beg, and Bisque. At the next one into Beg Lake, and it'll be an easy wade for us. We'll skip this one too. Could use ropes for this to track the canoe, but it's just not worth coiling the ropes and everything. It's quick enough. So we were just saying it's weird how no weather is hit yet today based on the forecast, and like 15 seconds later there's some rain starting here. We'll see if we get it. We're coming up to the second last carry of the trip. We had 45 in the end on our route. We were able to avoid some by running and wading, but yeah, it'll be nice to be done. We've seen a fantastic number of falls on this trip. It's been a treat the whole way.
This one's got some power.
Yeah, this is a nice one. We're hearing some thunder now. Into Bisque Lake. Final carry ahead. There it is. Thunder's increasing. Let's see what happens.
Last one. Last one.
Last one.
Last one.
There's plenty of thunder now. We went into this trip with a bang. Maybe we're gonna go out with a bang. Bunch of youth groups coming in today. Long weekend. And we just finished. We're at Pickerel. Whew. I'm not sure if we should get on the water right now.
I know.
Maybe just take a break here?
Yeah. Start with that. That one felt like a kilometer.
Yeah.
Not getting on the big lake yet.
Nope.
I felt that one.
Yeah. Well, this is perfect timing, really. We just finished all our ports, so we don't have to do any wet, slippery ones, and we could take shelter, set up the canoe before getting on the lake. It's a win.
Win-win.
We did it.
We did it.
Oh my. Hold on tight. It's coming. This is one of those angry thunderstorms you don't mess around with. You can just feel it in the thunder.
Yep. It's cracking.
But it's super fun under here.
We've got hail!
When we saw this thunderstorm coming in the forecast, we were like, we've never really had hail on a camping trip before. What do we have?
Hail.
Hail. Wow. I'm so glad we didn't just launch the canoe on this lake.
Yep. There's some people that have to come back for their canoes on this port. And Yeah, they're not gonna be happy.
Yeah.
Oh.
These guys just came up back to their second load. So we waited that out for about an hour or so. Blue sky on the way, it looks like. We're gonna paddle for an hour or so and look for camp. Hopefully a really good one to send off this trip. Well, that was really intense. We just got back to like a little signal, not even a bar. And I got an emergency alert. Tornado in this mobile coverage area. Take immediate cover. Wow. I thought that felt intense.
I bet that's the storm that passed, yeah.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Whoa, it's a fine line between fun and dangerous. That's crazy. There's a groundhog on that rock. He looks pretty stunned by that storm.
I know, bud. Us too.
Yeah, we don't really get tornadoes around here. I have never got an alert on my phone warning me there's an immediate tornado threat.
No.
So,
That's
whew.
new.
Well, we tried to cut behind an island that showed it would have water on the federal topo map, but nope. Back we go. Pickerel's a big lake. Doesn't make much to build a swell.
We're just cruising our way down Pickerel Lake now with this tailwind and coming up to a pretty decent looking beach site. So we're going to check it out and see if that's where we want to spend our final day.
We've been choosy with our sites on this trip, often passing by many just to find something better going on later in the day. And this is yet another one, and we're very happy with it. Bit of a drying station in here. Just got an evening coffee, much needed, and mac and cheese for our final night. Erin's got the tent set up. Dream team.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Just right.
So that was our most portage heavy day and longest distance. We were up at 6 and we've been going for about 13 hours. So we're tired but feeling very good. Just need to get out of the sun. It's so hot. Put up the tarp there for a shade on the tent. That'll keep it nice and cool for us. Time for a little break before we soak in the final evening here. Should be a great view of sunset. We're soaking in the final night here, just thinking back on what an ideal canoe trip this was. One of our best for just enjoyment and pace and everything. Didn't even need a rest day, we extended it.
Yeah.
It just, everything seemed to work out well on this trip. And we got some cool thunderstorms that we always enjoy. Started the trip with one and ended it here today with one. And we also started the trip near the US border, which was just interesting given the times. And, you know, ultimately it's just an imaginary line. We've still got Americans here that are enjoying the park, and I'm sure vice versa.
Yeah,
we're just
it's
glad
great
to see that.
them. Yeah.
We had those storms and a couple of white knuckle paddles like on Saganega, but we also had mirror calm paddles on some of these huge lakes.
Yeah, and lots of tailwinds.
Yep. And by sticking to the rivers, we got to see waterfall after waterfall. Starting with the first notable one was Silver Falls, and it may have been the nicest one of the whole trip.
I thought it was going to be, and it's definitely a highlight, but each one surprised me, and I was impressed with the beauty of all of them, and just so many.
And another thing that made this trip so special were all the campsites. You know, we really tried to find good ones. We didn't just take the first thing that popped up, and it paid dividends. Like every campsite I felt like had some charm.
And we turned our noses up at some that we would have died for on some trips.
On some bush trips, yeah.
Yeah.
Where there aren't established sites, so that was really nice. The haze from both the heat and sometimes distant forest fires made things beautiful too. The sunrises and sunsets were only made better by those.
Yeah, it created some really beautiful layers.
And in the end, we accomplished what we wanted to, which was to see the rivers of Quetico for a park that's more so known for flat water. traveled a lot of its major rivers. There are still some more, but the Malign was a highlight. Like I would definitely consider going back for that. Rivers of Quetico. That was a beauty. Some more thunderstorms possible tomorrow, so hopefully it's not an eventful exit in the morning.
We'll see. We're not out of the woods yet.
No. Good morning for day 14. Just walking around the point to take in sunrise. Can't resist. How we doing this morning, hon?
Great. I'm just paddling away from camp on our final morning and doing the home stretch. It's been an amazing trip.
Looks like we're gonna beat the thunderstorms too.
Always a bonus.
That's a relief. Well, there's certainly some interesting clouds around this morning. We just got across Pickerel Lake and finishing the last piece of the Pickerel River, which will take us into French Lake, where we've got a car waiting. Just heard some thunder in the distance. We have heard a couple booms earlier, and we're just really hoping we can get to the car dry. That would feel like such a treat. Home stretch in the French Lake. What are you looking forward to, hon?
A shower and seeing egg.
A cat.
And
We get chips
chips
in the car. We got milkshakes on the way home.
Yeah. Catching up with Kessia, my sister.
Our bed.
Yeah. Lots.
Well, no sooner than we got back to the car and loaded up, it started raining. Just started coming down. What incredible luck.
Once again.
Yep. Great timing on this trip.
And
Our treat at
Our
the car.
treat.
Some ketchup chips. So we got back to the car, but we weren't out of the woods yet. On the drive home, we got peppered with tornado warnings, and things got a bit sketchy. Because of the scenario, we didn't document it the best, so I'm taking it out and putting it into a little side piece here if you want to click through, along with some extended discussions that were just a bit too long and off topic. Cheers.